Hello, Akinwumi Abiodun. Tosin Olu. Hi guys, how are you doing? I'm not going to take more than 10 minutes because I didn't realize how late it is. It's really late, so I'm going to stay up for just 10 minutes. And please don't be angry. I was on for about 2 hours earlier on, and I'm pretty exhausted. Um, we have the police PPRO, Benjamin Undane, with us live. Someone said we're up early. So thinking about things, yeah. I said this the other day. I can't believe that 3 days ago I didn't know who Mobad was. At least I didn't know him properly. And all we've been talking about for the last 3 days was this young man. And he has brought his demise has brought to light the decadence in Nigerian music, the thuggery in Nigerian music. I didn't know much about the thuggery in the music. Well, I can't say I didn't know anything about it because I went to a university in Nigeria and I know what Nigerian universities are like. And I'm aware of what Nigerian streets are like. However, I cannot not say that I don't know about the darkness in the music industry. I'm sorry, I'm just chewing on some nuts. I hope you guys can hear me clearly. The darkness in the industry. We complained during the last election about Tinubu and the godfatherism. And Nigerian musicians came out crying. That to me invalidated the whole argument. Nigerian musicians, after what they do to their fellows, they can complain about politicians. Have you forgotten that I worked on the radio for 26 years? 26 years. If you are watching on TikTok, double click the screen on TikTok. I worked in the Nigerian radio for 26 years. We have had calls to pull down songs because a record label is fighting a young musician. It happened with more than one music. I don't need to mention names. Una no dance na, una dance. Share goni, abi share shalori. Una no dance now. Look at what record labels did, and no record label is innocent. When you sign to a record label in Nigeria, it's like you sign away your freedom, your life, your earnings. And then these same musicians are campaigning against Tinubu. For me, that was why I even started looking at Tinubu. I say, àwọn olórí burúkú yìí, these ones, at least some of them were decent enough to keep quiet during the political elections. They just kept quiet. Maybe tweeted one line because they know say they get conscience. They know what in them they do. Do you know what happens with record labels in the industry? These young cats, oh yes, you gave them an opportunity to have a decent life. Yes, you took them from nothing. Must you own their soul? And I'm not blaming one record label for this. I'm blaming all. Very few people were immune to this record label, like people like Davido, whose father had money, and one or two other people. The rest of them, hey, by the time the record label is done with you, voila, you go find nurse work. I can start mentioning musicians now that were at the peak of their careers, and all of a sudden, because of one record label issue or the other, finish, they are gone. Search your conscience. Search your conscience. I'm not saying don't profit. I'm not saying don't profit from, but at what stage do we draw the profit? Do we draw the end of the profit? Say, okay, after this stage, it moves from profit to total ownership of the person's life. Someone said, can we call them out? My answer is no, because if we call them out, it's part of the hypocrisy. We need to address the Nigerian in us. My problem with Nigerians is, and I said this all the time, I'm a prophet. I said, from Monday to Sunday, January to December, una they use talk on top of each other. But then on the day of election, you are crying that their thugs are the polling booths. The thugs you have been using, where do you expect them to go on? Do you expect them to go on sabbatical? You expect them to relocate to Canada on the day of election? You see, Nigeria is a consequence of Nigerianness. Our country is a perfect representation of us. We have cocoa, but no chocolate factory. We have crude oil. For the first time now, we want to have a refinery in 2023. That the refinery is not even ready. Are we even sure that refinery will work this 2023? South Korea does not have a drop of oil, but they have the world's largest refineries. They buy our oil and they refine it and give it back to us. In as much as we want to start calling names and blaming people, can we start blaming ourselves first? This boy's life was like an expose of what, I said this then. I said this. Nigeria is not ready to move forward. We have been sucked into Nigerianness. Nigerianness has become a culture. Nigerianness has become a culture. So, we all need to start protecting our young ones. Many people can't afford lawyers. Many people are ignorant of the law. Some people don't even know their rights. Some people just want to blow. I was having a conversation with Naomi the other day, and I must say sometimes my views can be a bit elitist. When people say, my mother did everything to raise me, I don't understand it. My mother tried her best to raise us, went out of her way, but she did not have to sell firewood to raise us. She did not have to sell her clothes to raise us. That's a part of the Nigerian story I can't relate to. But I'm going to have to start relating to it. This young man was a carpenter. He had a furniture company. Then we must also talk about Ikorodu. We must talk about Ikorodu. Taste buds had land in Ikorodu that one baale sold to her. We will still talk about this. We went there one day and I had seen that they had started building on our land. I'm talking about 2014, about 10 years ago. No, it's more like 2016, 2015, 2016, thereabouts. Sorry, it's been a long time ago, so my dates are not as accurate as I like them to be. I went to that land and talks told me that we have no land here. And they showed me gone. On top taste buds land. She has governor's consent, I think. All the documentation for the land. There is a video of me eating amala that was used as an advert. I was eating that amala one day on the way to that ikorodu. Ikorodu was home for 1 million boys, if you remember clearly. Can we sanitize that place a little? Can we sanitize that place a little? I've been a victim too. I went to look at that land one day. Say they don't buy me that in a small remain. They show me gone. Say, hey, Nile be buy when I don't get land for here. Meanwhile, Tastebot has 6 acres. She wanted to use it to build a factory. Factory dream, employment dream, business dream, shattered. I'm not making this up. Nigeria can be a very, very toxic place. Was she able to recover it till today? I'm sure if we go to the land now, I don't turn estate. 6 acres. One plot, 1 acre is 6 plots. So we are talking about 36 plots of land. Major land. This no be one land though, one plot though. Those people that collected her land, tomorrow they will complain and they'll say the government is. That's why when people are crying about government, you don't ever see me cry about government before. I know Nigerians now. The government they have, that's the government Nigeria deserves. Finish. This government is even too good. This government that is trying to solve visa problem, normal government where we deserve now be the last one we go Buhari government. Well, now go cry, and I go talk. Now say go sit down, they look on. But I go just sit down, they look on. After a while, you go begin picking teeth. Now the kind government will befit una gone, I be that. Because una no good. Shey na government say they make they collect taste buds land. Shey na government harass Mohbad. Oh, we can complain from now till tomorrow. The police didn't do anything. This people didn't do anything. This one no do anything. This one no do anything. We can complain from morning till night. The people that did this to Mohbad. Excuse me. Then be government. If you are watching on TikTok, double click the screen. Let me just bring Samaria so that no be only me go talk. Let me just bring Samaria. If you're watching on TikTok, double click the screen. Follow my #1 gifter. I'll make una support our channel. Make una support our channel. Make this work, not tire us. Because you can see how much opportunity we bring to you guys with our channels. If you're watching on YouTube,
clean up today, Daddy Freeze.
You know what's happened again? You know wear cloth again.
Moving, so it's been very good for me.
You are moving again.
See, I look so tired. No. Remember I told you I was gonna move. This is the time I'm moving.
Yeah, but my problem is if you are not moving, you are buying car. If you are not buying car, you are changing job. Which time do you have in this life to rest?
Daddy Freeze, sometimes you have to do things to spice up your life.
As in, but you are spicing up your life every month.
When it gets boring, you spice it up.
Okay, what is your take? Because I'm done. I've finished saying what I want to say.
This one will be long. You've said everything that needs to be said. We are on our own enemy. You know they try. And I keep wondering, I keep asking people, why are we quick to type rest in peace when we can't live in peace? Well, they should continue in patient's voice.
Is it good morning over there?
Yes, morning here. You let him more.
Just trying to get a shirt on. I'm sorry.
This is the first time I have a man on my life that is not dressed.
I'm dressed now.
All right, let's hear from you. We're not going to take much time. Just tomorrow, I'm going to come and we're going to talk about Ikorodu. What's going on in Ikorodu? How did Ikorodu degenerate into this? I'm going to have a conversation around that in the morning. You know? Why can't we live in peace? Anyway, Don Fiesta, let me hear you.
Thank you very much, Daddy Freeze. Hello, Scenario. The first thing I want to say, I want to address our talents, our artists. I want to educate them to understand that the music industry globally is beyond the glitz and glamour. There's an underworld. There are power tussles. If you look at it, even from America here, most of the entertainment music labels have foundations based on ill-sourced wealth. I don't want to talk too deeply on that because I know you guys understand. In Nigeria too, when it comes to clubs, strip clubs, record label, not all, but I can tell you for a fact that 60-70% of the owners of these record labels source their money from very, very desperate foundations. So they want to do anything to protect their investment, including enslaving their record labels and seeing them as their product and their property. You cannot go anywhere. You cannot think for yourself. You cannot act for yourself. You cannot betray. And this did not start today. If I take you all the way back to the 60s, even the people we call our legends, if you listen to their old tracks, then they pop for inside the song against themselves. Then they fight. People will go to perform, they'll be coughing blood, they'll be dying on stage, they'll be beating drum, the drum will not sound on the other side. Sometimes they will have to go and make some sacrifices somewhere before they can perform. People who know what I'm saying know. So the entertainment industry, the music industry is darker than what anybody else sees. It's deep, bro. So if you are going into it, keep your eyes open, do your investigation. Don't be desperate. And I also want to say this to all these artists that most of you will never ever make it in the music industry. It's not a curse. You can have the talent, you may never make, you may never be heard. Find an alternative. Don't be desperate. Hold on to your passion, something else that you can do with your time while you are nurturing your musical talent so that you are not too desperate. And I'll finally say this, and I'm saying this without any fear or favor. The next trend right now is that everybody is trying to identify. I don't want to go deeply, but everybody here understands. So that they can get some kind of some protection, some kind of backup. Maybe somebody within their own sex who is over there can help them. The power tussle is too intense for the tiny opportunities that are available. Too many artists, too much desperation. People doing things. Boys are going into serious sacrifices and dark things just to blow. People are doing so many things. The foundation is deeper than we know. And once the foundation is dirty, the whole system becomes dirty. There's no way you can wash it clean. So if you are getting into that system, in the entertainment industry, into the system, make sure you watch with your eyes open and you don't fall victim. It is very, very important. It is not always as rosy as you think it is from the outside. If you are getting involved, you need to look, and look again so that you will not get yourself into what you did not even expect in the name of finding a record label. That's all I have to say to our artists.
He made a very great point that he phrased. And sorry, in addition, now this is what even Portable this morning was saying something about how they have um, record label promoters and the good ones. There will always be two stones. So, like he rightly said, I mean, I understand the desperation is there. At that time, it's like, ooh, they are rushing you, now then they rush you. But we just have to be careful. They have to be careful while picking, and making choices. So they don't end up going to where that would, a place that would end up cutting short their glories. He made a very valid point.
It's so sad that Mobile had to die like that. It's so sad. It's so sad. Seriously.
It's very sad. Anyway, guys, I wanted to bring one or two more people, maybe just one person more. But the problem is I'm not able to connect, maybe just for 2 more minutes. Let's just hear them because it's really depressing. It's really depressing.
And I think upcoming artists should try to educate themselves on how they can use the social media to develop themselves. People are already moving away from record label things now. You can actually engage somebody or engage yourself, learn. Artists should try to do their own findings and research on how they can download, upload their own songs, how they can monetize their own songs, and how they can promote themselves using social media, TikTok, and all of that. As far as you have the talent, it might not be easy. Just be consistent about it. These days, you don't even need a record label, to be honest. As far as you have your internet and you have your account, you're active, you're connecting, you're doing your freestyles, you're doing everything, you're on it steadily, I believe somebody's going to find you. If that is your destiny, somebody's going to find you. Because you can even do so much more for yourself these days. So much more for yourself these days. And then artists should please take care of their mental health. That is also very important. Because you have not blown does not mean you should be suicidal. That is why you should have a backup. A lot of artists are depressed and they're using weed and all. Sorry to use that word. They're using all those things they put for body just to calm themselves down. Some of you are too young to put all these things in your system. If you think it's part of the industry, no, it's not. Your body does not recognize your industry. If at 17, 20, 25, you're already looking like a 70-year-old man, what are you trying to achieve with that? You're already looking old. And that's because you are putting a lot in your system, mixing this just because you think that is what the industry requires. No, that is not what the industry requires. You're damaging yourself and you're getting depressed. And the fact that you have not blown does not mean you are a failure. Artists should calm down and try to put that energy in researching and composing good songs and striving harder to utilize the social media, all the platforms they have, families and friends. Do freestyles every day, just be consistent about what you're doing. Even when the record labels find you, they found you in a good place. Because they see you as an asset. They can't bring rubbish contract to you because you have already built yourself to that point. So if you think that as an artist, that is, you said I do or die affair for you, that's why they'll bring some contract to you, place you under conditions and all that. We are talking about Mohbad today. Unfortunately, he has been a sacrificial lamb. Unfortunately. But do you know how many artists are suffering in silence with record labels and they can't get out? A few people like Daniel that spoke up, but a lot of people are there right now that they are still enslaved. There is no way they can go. The process has tied them down. They can't even do anything by themselves. The record label have access to all the database of all their songs, all their recordings, and all of that. And the moment you go outside of their program, then you're ready to lose it all. And they don't want to lose, they don't want to start from the beginning. So they have to stay there. They don't want to start from the scratch and what will people say about them? They are suffering. So I really feel like artists at this point should learn from this and should try to develop themselves, not only with their art, their talent, but how they can market themselves, how they can develop themselves. Let them read. Nigerian youth don't like to study. Go on YouTube, learn how to produce your song, how you can market your own songs using the digital space, using the digital platforms, where you can upload your own audio, where you can even mix your own songs by yourself, where you can download beats, where you can buy beats and set up your own studios. You don't need to pay anybody for anything these days. Just add internet and learn these things. That is the truth. People are doing. I've entered the studio around here where somebody just used the computer, turntable and everything was already digitalized. The mixer was already on the computer. Everything was already set on the computer. You can download these things and develop yourself. Record labels, when they find you, they find a finished product already. Now they will give you a proper contract that you can take your time to learn because you're already up there. Before Mohbad was signed, Mohbad was already known. He was already known. He was already freestyling. He was already a brand at that time. If he had additional knowledge or somebody to guide him, he probably wouldn't need the record label.
We also need to also consider the poverty in Nigeria and how it takes a devastating turn on the people. Anyway, I said this was going to be a very short one. Thank you so much, Don Fiesta. Thank you so much, everyone. We're going to try to get to the bottom of this matter. Let's just continue living in love and showing love. Thank you all for coming out. We'll continue tomorrow. Hopefully, the police will help us unravel this particular case. God bless us all. And I'm looking forward to having you guys tomorrow. Take care.